Hello, my beautiful creatives, and welcome back to my art channel. My name is Chrissie B, and I'm a creativity coach, hoping to inspire you to live a more creative life every day. Now, I have really been on a kick about making art portable, so I have kind of been on the hunt this week for a way to make a very low-cost, recycled type of art journal that I could carry with me, something nice and small and portable, and I think I've come up with something. So, let me start out by telling you, I took a little trip to my local Goodwill and I found this box of cards. It's a note card set. It's vintage red divine. I love this color. It's gorgeous. It cost me $2, $1.99. Inside it had, there was ribbon holding the cards all together, and there were a whole ton of envelopes and two different style of cards, a bunch of them. So I thought that this would be a really cool thing that I would like to try to play with, to try to make my own travel notebook from. Just something small and super portable. And this is what I came up with. It is just a very small, portable, recycled travel journal. Really, really small. And I'm going to show you how I made this because I think this is so freaking cool. And I'm super jazzed about it because it is so small. And there were enough cards in here that I literally can make 3 of these little booklets, and not to mention I can make more booklets out of the envelopes. I just have to figure out how I want to do it for myself. So without further ado, let me show you how I made my little travel notebook. So the first thing I did was I took 6 cards out of the little set that I picked up. I chose 3 of one design, 3 of another, just because you really won't see them when all said and done. Like, you could see part of one of the cards, but you don't really see any of the others. And I just do that because I have this weird sense of fairness in my poor little brain. Okay, so the way that you do this is you want to take one of the cards and you want to measure how tall it is. And it's 5.5 inches tall. So by taking that number and dividing it by 2, I figured that I want to take each of my cards and cut them down to 2 3/4. Let me double check that number. Yep, 2 3/4. This is why I do sample 1. To cut them all into half. Once you do that with all 6 of them, you're ready to go on to the next step. Okay, so all of my little cards have been cut in half, and this is what they look like. And now I'm ready to actually put them together into my little booklet. The only thing I'm kind of hesitating on doing is, because the cards are really kind of soft, I guess, you know, flimsy, and I guess that's okay because it's just really heavy cardstock. You could always take a piece of cardboard and add that to the front, and I'm thinking about doing that. So that is what I've decided I want to do with this book, even though I didn't do it on my sample book, because I'm pretty confident it's going to be cool. So to make my life really easy, I'm just going to take a bit, because I'm terrible with math and figuring out what my cut should be. I'm going to just kind of use this fold on this box as my template, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces that same exact size. Okay, so that is that. We have 2 of those. This one's got a little bit bend in it, but I'm not too worried about it. It's going to get all bent up in my bag. So now we have all 6 cards cut in half. We have the cover and the back cardboard pieces to kind of stabilize it a little bit better. I need a glue stick. I prefer Yoo-hoo sticks, just that's my favorite, but any glue stick will work. I've got a couple of binder clamps to clamp the glued piece together. And then to put it together, super, super, super simple, okay? So we're gonna put the 2 cardboard pieces aside, because we don't need those quite yet. And I am gonna grab my glue stick magazine, because I wanna. And the way that this is gonna work is you take one of your half cards, okay? And you're going to take your glue stick, and all you're going to do is cover one side completely with glue. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then you're going to take another one of your cards, and you can choose to glue it either way, because it doesn't matter if you glue, you know, face to face or back to face. It doesn't matter, because you're going to end up doing all of the cards exactly the same. What I do is I kind of line it up as best I can by eye, and then I flip the whole thing over and I tap the spine down onto a flat surface so that I can get this glued as flat as possible, as straight as possible. I don't want to size it to the ends, I want to size it to the spine. Just because the cards are not cut perfectly, but they were $2 cards, so I don't care too much about that. I just want my spine to be as straight as possible. And that's it. You're just going to keep doing that over and over again. So let me show you another one. I'm going to paint the face again with some glue. Okay. Then I'm going to take another half of my card, and I'm doing back to front. So I'm going to take the back, line it up by eyeball, flip it over, tap the spine on a flat surface, and really make sure you kind of smooth that out as best you can. Make sure there's no air bubbles in there. So two things you want to be aware of, although you don't have to be perfect about it. This is something that's going to be thrown in your purse. It's going to be something that you can just carry with you wherever you're at. So line your spines up as best you can and make sure that there aren't any holes between the glue and the two sheets, because you want them to really adhere together. Not only does that put the pages together, but it really reinforces these pages to make it nice and thick. So if you want to do some mixed media stuff on these things, I think they'll be okay. So I'm just going to keep doing that until the whole book is put together. Okay, so now all of my pages are glued together, and I really love this book, to be honest with you. It makes me super happy. I did make my edges as straight as I could. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Now, you can be done at this stage. And the way that I did my sample book, I was done at this stage. I pretty much just clamped all 4 edges of my little art journal. I clamped them all together, and I let them dry overnight, just like this, so that they stayed nice and flat. And then the next morning when I came and checked on it, it was gorgeous, and I loved it, and it was awesome. However, because I've decided to do the cardboard front and back for this one, I'm going to do an extra step. And that extra step is I'm just going to take the same glue stick, and you could use PVC glue or whatever glue you have on hand. I just like the idea of using glue stick just to kind of see. And I'm going to line my cardboard up as best I can and kind of just flatten it down. And so now I have a back on there. And now that back page is nice and reinforced like the 2 pages together are. You can see the cover is still pretty flimsy because it's just one cover. So we're going to do the same thing by putting this piece of cardboard on its front, so that it will be completely and totally reinforced, and it's like a little book. Yeah, for some reason this just makes me so happy. And I'm going to, there's kind of a wobbly edge on one side, and if I have a wobbly edge, I'm going to stick that at the spine because we're going to cover the spine. So at this point, I would make sure it's nice and pressed down. Make sure my spine is as straight as possible. And I'm going to take my 4 clamps, and I am going to let it dry overnight. Normally I would let this dry overnight. I'm not going to let it dry overnight right now because I want to show you the next and the final thing to finish this. But normally what I would do right now, I just leave that just like that and let it dry overnight, and it would be gorgeous. But for the sake of showing you how to finish it, the next thing I'm going to use is I'm going to use Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky Glue. You can use any glue. I wanted to have a liquid PVC glue, which is what this is. All-purpose adhesive. Holds items on contact. I love that because Mama is impatient and wants instant results. I store this glue in a heavy glass jar upside down. I think I got this at Goodwill or something for like 25 cents. I've had it forever. And I literally store my glue like that, so it's always ready at the tip whenever I want to use it. So I have that on hand. And then this is something I've just recently stumbled upon. I'm always looking for interesting tapes. Hardware stores have the best tapes ever. You can get drywall tapes and carpet tapes and masking tapes and tapes and tapes and all different kinds of tapes. Anyways, I was out at a sports store with my niece. My niece and nephew are very, very, very sporty. And I was out at a sports store with my niece, and there happened to be this tape. It's called Pro Guard. It is hockey tape. It's the type of tape that you use to wrap your hockey stick with. Well, it's kind of fabric, and it's black, and I love it so freaking much. And I thought, oh my gosh, as soon as I saw this, I thought this would be perfect for a spine of a book. So that is what we're going to use this for. Grab a pair of scissors, you have your tacky glue, you have your tape, whatever tape it is you choose to use. This one I like because it seemed the most like kind of like a canvas. Plus it was black, which made me super stoked because it means it looks clean and finished. So what you're going to do is on your spine, I'm going to stand my book up, okay? And I'm going to take my Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky Glue. And I'm going to, how do I get scientific about this? I'm going to basically put glue all over the spine. I'm going to smush the glue. And I'll make it as even as possible. Make sure everything has got some glue on it. Okay. And knowing that some glue is going to skish out the edges, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I want the glue to skish off the edge, like this kind of edge here. Okay. So I'm just putting a line of glue on this edge as well. Okay, so I'm gonna stand it back up again. Let it kind of hang out a moment. Put my glue away. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Then I'm going to take a piece of this hockey tape. And it's actually very easy to use. I love it. And I'm gonna kind of guesstimate a size that is a little bit bigger than the amount I think I'm gonna need. And I'm gonna very carefully use my fingernails to get it sticky side up on my table, like that. And I'm gonna take my glue and I'm gonna see if I can center my book as best I can on this thing, and I'm gonna kind of really push it down. Okay, like that. And I want to really kind of burnish the tape onto my spine. Now before I fold my tape over, and this is happening because I didn't actually do the squeezy thing and hold it for all night, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut the edges off, this excess on the ends. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want it to be hanging off. Okay, stand it up again so I can get my hands back to myself, because this sticky tape, or this hockey tape, is very sticky, which is awesome. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch my book closed, and I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to very carefully, while smoothing the tape down, just kind of pinch a little bit to get the edges put down carefully and hopefully smoothly. Okay? And there you have it, your little itty bitty art book. That's what it looks like. It's ready to go. Like right now, you can just start playing in it right now, even though you didn't do the overnight pinchy thing. I am going to do the overnight pinchy thing because I really like it. And the overnight pinchy thing just is clamping all the edges. But you now have this awesome little art book that you could carry with you with maybe one of the art palettes that you created last week. Let's see if I've got one close at hand. One of the little art palettes. So what if this was your little art kit that you had with you in your purse? How cool would that be? Maybe all you needed to throw in there was maybe a portable paintbrush, which is a Da Vinci number 6, which I believe, if I remember correctly, here's a Da Vinci 8 you could use. Heck, why not throw them both in your bag? How hard would that be? You could even to make it easier on yourself, you could grab a water brush or two that already has the water inside of the brush for you. So I've got two here. I've got a small and a medium. like so. There's already water in the barrel, so you are ready to go. What if that was your art kit right there? What if this is what you threw in your bag? How awesome would that be? That's so portable. So anyways, that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial. It's super, super simple. I'm all about making art portable. I'm all about making art something that doesn't have to be a big ordeal to actually do it. It doesn't take a lot of time, it doesn't take a lot of space, it doesn't take a lot of energy, but it sure makes you feel freaky-dickety great. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. I love you bunches. Bye for now.